Hello again. I was just going to do one of these, but then I realized I cannot go by without the story of throwing the gnome, which was the first game session. Um, I'll introduce it as it was introduced to Thunk, since this is all from Thunk's point of view. Um, Father Tiberius had me go with him to the palace, where I understood that some sort of special ceremony was going on, but I didn't know what the ceremony was. I didn't know what was going on. So we go to the palace, and Thunk's in his, animal skins and, that he wears, and, he's got a headpiece from a bear that he hunted and killed on his own. Bear Clan, what I've envisioned is a very Native American gone bad. Uh, if that makes any sense. They were evil, and that's not something that was commonly found in Native Americans, but they were also a tribal society. And the way I want to play this is choice, is Native American gone bad, and thus Thunk is getting back to his, native root. That's further along. Um, so brought before this elf, was also there with me, and then then these two prisoners, a gnome and a dwarf, are brought in. The four of us are going to be the 5th Battalion. Yeah. Not 100% certain why we're only the 5th Battalion. I mean, the first was famous, and I think, like I said, Papa Squall, he's in the 2nd Battalion, I think. And I've got an Uncle Proxima who's in the 3rd Battalion. Don't know anything about the 4th Battalion, but now we're the 5th. So, okay, whatever. And we're essentially being sworn in as, this new battalion, when word reaches the palace that there are goblins and bugbears attacking. So Thunk, goes running off to the battle, and then stops and, waits for the Emperor's permission before leaving his presence, and then runs off to fight these, these bad guys. And the city is in 3 layers. There's the top district, I think it's the Sky District, and then there's the Hill District in the middle, and then the lower class, the poor section, is the Seed District. I might be wrong about this, but I think that's the way it goes. Anyways, the 4 of us are careening off, and the first thing that's very obvious is that the gnome can't keep up with us, medium-sized characters. And she weighs like 50 pounds, maybe tops. So Thunk grabs the gnome and carries her with him. We're going to fight. I'll bring the gnome. Thought it was a good idea. She can, apparently barbarians aren't that much faster than a gnome, so it didn't do a whole lot of good. But hey, and we're parkouring over the over the rooftops to get there quickly, and I almost dropped the gnome at one point, and then we get there, and there's we run up upon our first goblins, and I've got a gnome in one hand and an axe in the other hand. So when it became my turn, I threw the gnome at the goblins and then ran up and shot them with my hand axes. I don't think I got close enough that round to. I did nail one of the goblins with the gnome. Unfortunately, she took a fair bit of damage from being thrown. Thunk has the worst luck when it comes to not being deadly. Every time he tries to knock something out, you know, you use the flat of my blade and I crush his skull. You know, it just, when he wants to not kill things, they usually end up very, very dead. Okay. So yeah, threw the gnome, and she took some damage and charged in there, and this little 90-pound weakling-looking elf is, you know, all got a sword that's dripping with acid, and he's breathing acid at goblins, and it's very unusual, but, you know, Thunk's trying to keep up with everybody that's faster than him. He's not making it into the thick of combat, which is where, you know, he wants to be. We take out the first two goblins, no big deal, and then we see some more goblins further on. You know, we run up, and there's like two goblins and a bugbear, or maybe there's two bugbears and a goblin. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure there were two bugbears because they hit pretty hard. They hit Thunk once, and they hit Jordan, the scrawny little elf boy. His name is Jordan. The gnome's name is Willow. And I still can't remember the cleric's name. He was using a crossbow, not doing much. Willow was using a bow, not doing much. Jordan and Thunk managed, you know, basically it was the two of them that cleaned out the bugbears. You know, that's probably somebody saying that they're interested in these. So yeah, you know, take them out, and then we go back to the palace, and we get healed, and, you know, we get our gear, and, you know, there was a whole incident where I tried to carry the elf. I'm gonna have to ask Jordan for his recollection, because apparently at one point I picked up the elf to carry him back to get healed, except there was still acid on his skin, so he burned this, you know, handprint of acid on the back of my, you know, animal skins that I wear. It's quite rude, actually, now I have to think about it. And there was a point where he slapped the gnome, too. Called me an ugly elf, which, you know, Thunk is very insulted by. You know, I've got tusks in my freaking mouth, you know. I am an half-orc. Calling me an elf, you asshole. You know, like I say, you slapping the gnome and burning people, and he's just an asshole. I mean, he is just an asshole. Don't like him. Not at all. He's going to be an asshole. You know, it's going to come down. You know, at this point, we're thinking it's going to come down to me having to, you know, beat him down a little bit just to make sure he understands that you can't treat people like that. You know, Thunk is not about to fall in line and be a number two to an asshole like that. He can fight. Okay, so that gives him a little bit of leeway because he can fight, but no. You try to tell me what to do, we're going to have problems. And, you know, at the same time, Thunk doesn't want to reveal the fact that he's as smart as he is because he doesn't know these people. If it comes down to a one-on-one between these two, the gnome's not much of a deal. The dwarf, maybe the three of them together, but Jordan is the linchpin. He's the only other one in the party that Thunk considers a threat. And he's an asshole. So, you know, there's all that. So, next time, since this video is getting a little long, we'll go on about our first mission, which I think is session 2. First few sessions were kind of short, so we didn't get a whole lot done, but then that got better. So, anyways, until next time.